Welcome to the Pressure Beast Podcast.
If it's hot, thick, and under pressure, we're into it.
You know, they were talking about the amount of oil Venezuela's got is just astronomical. I think we need to put another star on the flag, make them 51st state. Be done with it. Get rid of the corruption.
We're collecting a lot of stars.
We need to collect some more stars.
Between Canada and I'm sure Mexico is coming up. And
United States of America, and they're South America. I mean, you know what I mean?
It all counts.
You know, it's still part of America.
Mexico south, we're taking you over.
Right.
We're coming for you.
Yeah, we can skip Mexico. Jump over them a little bit.
If you have natural resources.
Yeah, because then you don't need any freedom.
Right.
Yeah, you need free. If you got resources, you need some.
You need
some
freedom.
American freedom.
Yeah, unless you're Panama and you just need a canal cut through your land.
I wouldn't mind taking over Panama.
You know, I don't know why we did a 99-year lease and then gave it up to them, and the amount of work we did and the importance of that shipping channel.
Well, we got it back. Trump got it back now.
Yeah.
Thank God the Chinese didn't get it.
Give them some freedom.
Give them some freedom. Shoot, man. Just why stop there? Brazil.
Let's take over the world.
It'd be a true United States of America. And then no one can bitch about the naming, Gulf America. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, then we can, I don't even know what all countries are down there.
You know what country is interesting is Bolivia to me. Bolivia. I've actually gone there a couple times. They're still a backwards country. But I was asking, kind of picking everyone's brain, like, why are you guys so backwards? Like, why is advancements not up to par with the normal? I mean, they're a civilized country.
Right.
But it's basically the next guy in power destroys everything the previous guy did and basically starts over. The next guy comes in power, destroys everything, and they start over. So it's this constantly rebuilding of everything that there's no establishment there's no legacy of continuity across the leaderships.
This is more of a dictatorship than
It is, in a way, that they can do that.
They don't have the checks and balances of the...
They do have where everyone has to join the military. That I did like. I did like that.
Man, I don't know about that.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
When I was in the military, half the guys that volunteered to be there didn't want to be there. They were shitbags. It took more work to keep them in line and everything else than what they were worth. Can you imagine if people that truly didn't even want the need or feel the pull to join the military being in there? Dude, we would not be the world's largest or greatest military anymore.
I think we'd be even better.
I don't.
I do.
I think as a country, we would be better. As a military, I think it would weaken us to the point that it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, you can have them out there painting rocks or something.
It's a lot of people to pay to.
You could do more humanitarian missions or something. I don't know. But I think you would. I think you would. Well, we wouldn't have half the bullshit we have today with this crybaby, whining ass.
We'd have more
generation. No, because I think half the problem is the ability to handle stress, right? And in the military, you're not going to be coddled. You're going to be taught how to handle stress.
It depends on who the commander-in-chief is.
With this newer generation, I mean, if they get their feelings hurt, they get a protection room, they get to go, they're very coddled, right? They're not having to deal with the stresses of life and have to address them, right? The dopamine release of, internet and all that kind of stuff, it's just, we're creating a bad situation for several years down the road. Where, nowadays with, back in the other days where, you didn't have the coddling, right? Before this whole everyone gets a trophy situation, all that kind of stuff, you had to experience the pain of losing, right?
Right.
And then that pain drove you to get better, right? But if everyone gets a trophy, there's no motivation to get better, right? And it's that type of scenario that I'm talking about. And it, maybe not even so much for everyone joining the military, but at least men. I would venture to say every man, boy, grown child, 18 should have to serve 2 years. I'd be perfectly okay with that.
Not the military. Social service, work in America, work at the border, something, homeland, improving
Fair enough.
the country. Yes. Military, go fight wars? Absolutely
You
not.
can join the Peace Corps. You can join the Coast Guard. You can join I guess they're military.
Damn, just call them all out.
Sorry, guys. Border Patrol, some
Something
agency
domestic
to be
that
able to help.
they can better America? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But military, no. We want people in the military that want to be there. We want people in the military that, everyone there wants to be there for the most part. They volunteered. They weren't told they had to unless, the whole judge told you go to jail or go to military.
Is that even relevant? I don't even think that is around anymore.
I don't know.
I've never met anybody or even heard of anybody that had that choice. I agree if that
I've
is
worked
a
with
choice.
people that said that, but I really don't believe it. But no, man, even those people that wanted to be there turn it into such a horrible ordeal.
Oh, I agree. But that's just
can
a part of
imagine
learning to
forcing
grow up.
people. You imagine forcing these people that don't even know what bathroom to use into the military?
Well, they're going to find out.
Are they?
Yeah.
Dude, you get the wrong commander in chief in place,
You get a soap shower.
It's not.
You get a bristle brush down.
Yeah, it's not like that no more.
Tie you to the fucking shaft and let you rotate for a while like a rotisserie chicken.
Our podcast wizard over there, she has a friend that just went to boot camp. She's telling me that he gets a cell phone in boot camp.
Sundays or something like that.
Every Sunday they get their cell phone as a free day.
I just learned how to scam the system to get that. I didn't actually get this. Well, we didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah,
so.
a payphone with a calling card. And,
Yeah. You know what I did? I learned that if I volunteered for the noon to 4 watch, that I got out of the ranks early at 11 to go eat lunch early. So otherwise, we didn't go into the chow hall till around noon or something like that.
Right.
So I'd get to bust out early around 11 to go eat on my own early. And I'd just go to the phone bank. Mom and everyone else calling me like, how are you calling us every other day? And I'm just, I'd skip lunch and then just go to the phone bank and talk. And of course, the phone bank was empty because, it was the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And they never caught on.
In Navy boot camp, you have each barrack is a ship, right?
Yeah, nowadays.
So I was ship staff, so we'd go get the barracks ready for the new class coming in and all that. So we got kind of free run of the base, do whatever we want. We marched ourselves to chow hall, to school, all that. And we were also the ones to check the bags as, the graduating class. They get to go out and have some fun on town and all that and then come back. And we were in charge of checking the bags. So we had a whole ring of Copenhagen sales that so we would we'd have people go buy Copenhagen for us, and as they would come back in, we'd check the bag and just pocket the Copenhagen and then turn around and sell it to everyone else. And went real great for a little while, man. Then one of our guys got caught with a whole log of Copenhagen. That was so when they make it rain in the barracks.
Oh, yes.
And then you have the ice cream socials and all the different little cute little names for the workouts that they do. We went through all of them that day.
Oh, God.
All of them.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it was an experience though. I mean, I didn't mind the workout. Boot camp to me was way too easy.
Oh, it was too easy. Way too easy.
I was
completely agreed. I was very kind of disappointed.
I was very disappointed.
I think I'd have had more fun in Marine boot camp.
Yeah.
For sure. It'd have been more physical, challenging. This is just working out and learning to tie knots.
Navy boot camp was.
Do you know nowadays the boot camp? They are truly ships, right? So you go in this building and you stay in that building.
Really?
Like when Lewis went to boot camp, he just kind of throwing shit out here, but like say for instance, the top floor is where you sleep, right? The floor below that is where you do all your marching, right? And the floor below that is the galley, and the floor below that is educational classroom setting. So it is a ship, right? So you are on this ship, and you really don't like go outside to go march. Like, we marched all around the parade grounds and all that kind of stuff. They marched to the chow hall. We marched here. We marched there. Now it's just one freaking building that they just kind of isolate in. And I thought to myself, well, I guess
That's
you're
good
on
training for the Navy.
for the ship. You're on a ship. You can't really get off.
No other boot camp would fit that, but the Navy that fits pretty well.
It does fit well, but I thought to myself, I actually got to learn that after you eat, to go take a walk was quite pleasurable because you have to march to the chow hall, you eat some food, and then you had to march back to your barracks or wherever else you're going. And that walk, you'd kind of help digest, and you're like, I feel much better. I enjoyed boot camp. I really, really did. The first week sucked, but after that, I was good.
I didn't really enjoy it or hate it. It was okay. It's kind of disappointing.
Really?
I didn't. I wanted a Marine style boot camp where we're climbing cargo nets and doing obstacle courses and
Jumping out of planes and
shooting real guns, not simulated shotguns.
I remember a boot camp, man. I pick up one time you shoot I think it was a 9mm re-gauge to a 22, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I was first in my little line. And I was like, I pick up that gun, start waving it around. That dude, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. Oh, my God. I was like, I shouldn't. Let me put that back.
You see the director of war. So a couple months back, whatever, a bunch of senators, congressmen put out a video telling the military not to follow orders and all that.
The astronaut dude, what was his name? Kelly or something?
He's a Navy captain too.
He's going to get his ass spanked. He is good. Yeah, they got him under review.
They have him under review. They're going to bust him down in rank and pay and all that.
What he did was wrong.
Oh, absolutely. If he was a captain of a command, he'd have been relieved of that command instantly, right? So he's retired. He's still receiving benefits and all that. Mm-hmm. He still falls under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Yeah. And for a sitting politician to tell our military to disobey orders, that is...
They disguised it in a way that I think some lawyers probably got involved.
Yeah,
the spirit behind what they were saying was you could cut through the bullshit red tape and see what they were trying to do.
The physical words they said were disobey unlawful orders. Yeah. But then they turned around and said pretty much everything Trump says is unlawful. Yeah. And so, they need to make an example out of him.
All of them.
Yeah. I'm real interested. It's probably fake. I hope it is, and I hope it's not. So whenever they captured Maduro, whatever his name is, Venezuela dictator, apparently he had some kind of kill switch that he instantly released a list of all the American politicians that are getting kickback from Venezuela, from all the drugs and everything.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
And most of them were Democrats. There were a couple Republicans. Republican from Texas was there, Republican from Oklahoma, but the majority of them were Democrats. If it's true, I don't care who it is.
I haven't heard anything about that.
They need to fry them. I don't care.
Well, that goes hand in hand with what's going on in Minnesota. I heard something the other day. They say it was easier to pluck a president or pluck a dictator out of a country than it is to find a child in daycare in Minnesota or something like that.
On a completely unrelated topic, I'm opening a daycare in Minnesota. If you have any kids that need child care, let me know.
You're actually going to watch kids there? You don't really need to.
No, we're not actually doing it.
You just kind of pencil their name in. And they all sound the same, so.
They do.
Yeah.
Just jumble some letters up. And
I'll tell you, what scares me is that's one little community, right? And we're talking billions of dollars, millions of dollars. That's probably going on around this world. I mean, around the country. That's not isolated.
No.
There's probably corruption at most levels and it's hard to think. I forget who I was watching the other day, and I'll get the numbers wrong, but basically he said If you take just the amount of fraud from that Minnesota that they're estimating or allegedly, and you take the average person and how much they federally pay in taxes over their lifetime, you're looking at 2 million people's lifetime of taxes that is fraudulently wasted. Now, granted, we got 130 million. 2 million is I don't know what percentage that is, but regardless, 2 million people's entire lifetime of paying federal taxes is basically, if you cut the fraud out, the 2 million people don't even have to pay taxes. That's just crazy.
Oh, man. And that's just the tip of it. You know, like Doge, they went through and they reviewed just the high level, just obvious, you know, the low hanging fruit.
Right.
Can you imagine if we had that as a full-time government organization? Not even government organization. It needs to be ran by citizens, not part of the government, in order to not get involved in the corruption of the government, right? So, but we need a division that does nothing but root out criminal activity and
You know where I think Elon and Trump went wrong with Doge? They didn't sell it properly.
no.
Right? It was, hey, we're going to go look for fraud, right? Okay. Everyone should be agreed with we shouldn't have fraud.
Right.
If they had turned this around and said, hey, you know what? We're going to go look for fraud. And for every dollar we find, we're going to give back 50 cents to the people. Now you've got an incentive to go find more, right? 50 cents got to go pay down the debt, 50 cents coming back to us, right? For the first ride. And then after the second year, there's no more fraud, so therefore the money stays in the kitty. But for what we're saving, right, for let's just say a year's time, and now every American's like, hey, wait a minute, you go find more fraud, I'm gonna get a portion of that money? Fuck yeah. Get them some more people.
And
sell
Trump
that to where.
tried to do that at the end, right? He at the end when he started getting sued for it and all that.
But if they'd have come out from the get-go and said, hey, this is what we're going to do, and here's how it's going to benefit you, right? Because half the people don't even pay taxes. Who gives a shit for them? They don't give a shit.
Like 50% of the country doesn't pay.
Right. You know what I mean? So when you get down to it, it's like, they receive money every year, just money back. They don't have an interest in it.
No. Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So if they were going to receive an interest in it, I think they could have sold the idea better. Because then the public could have been completely behind it and then forced the elected officials that were not for it, which obviously if you're not for it, then obviously you're benefiting from it, allow them to be fried.
You know what would have been even better than that? We go to a flat tax system, and for every amount, just arbitrary amount of money that they find in fraud, that 10% flat tax reduces down to 9, and then 8. And 7 until it's gone, till we don't have income tax anymore.
That would be nice.
Because that's a long-standing savings versus just getting a $2,000 check. I mean, we got $2,000 stimulus checks multiple times, and it really doesn't help the average person that much. It's a nice little fun thing to get. But reduce taxes down from 20, 30, 40%. For some people,
you might have a lot of people pissed off though. I've thought about that flat tax, right? If everyone just pays 10%, even fair. But then you're gonna have a lot of people now that don't pay taxes having to pay taxes.
Yeah, they should.
Agreed, but you're now they're gonna feel punished without understanding that they never contributed. Because I believe most people feel that they pay taxes. Look at your paycheck. I pay taxes. But when that check comes back at the end of the year...
And they receive it all back.
And they receive it all back. That to them is just how the game is played. I don't think the switch is connected to be able to say, hey, look, I didn't pay taxes. I think everyone feels they pay taxes.
Yeah,
but when you don't get that money back, or the first time at the end of the year where you have to actually pay more, that's a painful process. The first time you have to pay more, you're like, shit, I have to pay more taxes.
But those people that don't pay taxes, that they get it all back and more at the end of the year, are the same ones bitching that the rich people don't pay taxes.
Right.
Right. You can't have it both ways. But flat tax across the board, do away with the IRS at that point. You could minimize the IRS to very
A computer
small
AI system.
AI could do it.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that because it would do away with all the loopholes for politicians and all the tax savvy individuals. I wish I was. They have a lot of loopholes.
You know what pisses me off? IRS knows exactly how much money you need to pay in taxes.
Yeah.
Right? Down to a penny.
Yep.
But they can't fucking figure out that we've got that kind of fraud. You know, I mean, wait a minute, how is this working? I guess, I don't know if that's IRS's problem. I guess not.
Well, they know exactly how much we owe them. Why don't they just send us an invoice at the end of the year?
Right.
Why do we have to come up with our own taxes and they get penalized if we get it wrong because
Well, I
we
guess
didn't read the
write-offs would be different, yeah.
18,000 freaking code books?
Last year we got a check back for $16.
Ooh,
well, we
man.
paid our taxes, and then we were off. We overpaid by $16. And I was like, damn, honey. Put on the nice
high
dress.
on the hog,
We're
man.
going out tonight.
High on that hog.
But I thought to myself, you know what I mean? I don't know. They figured it out. I'm glad they gave me a check back for 16 versus saying, hey, dude, you owe us $16 more, you know?
I'm truly amazed they tell you overpaid.
I got to watch a video a while back. It was so interesting that basically it comes down to this formula with the numbers, right? And like 1 is used 9 times more than 2, and 2 is used 8 times more than 3. And
Yeah.
there's a name for it. That basically you can just look at that bottom number and the sequence of these numbers and how they're put in would automatically flag if it was fraudulent or not. And they say the IRS uses it, but they never formally said this. I need to look up what that process or that number, what they call this thing.
Yeah.
Europe comes out automatically and says, yes, we use that. So if you know, so as long as your numbers at the end of the day kind of fall in line with that formula, you know, you're not like 1999999. You're like, oh no, motherfucker,
Ding. You need to figure that formula out and just pick the lowest number that fits in it. And
right. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. That naturally everyone falls into that. All numbers fall into that. Mathematical equation, so to speak. Like 9 is used so much less than say
it's not
1 or
that
2.
Fibonacci.
No, in Fibonacci. It was neat. It was a long program. Anyway, I had to watch it twice.
Trying to figure out what numbers to use.
Yeah. Submit a bid. You're like,
You got off by $16.
I got $16. So I wish they'd come back and tell me this is where you got off on your $16. Like, oh, okay.
I'm telling you, man, why don't they just send an invoice?
Well, yeah.
Because if you're wrong, if you guess on your quarterly taxes wrong, they punish you.
That sucks, yeah.
You know, what sense does that make?
Then you have to overpay
Yeah.
just to be safe.
I'm sure they collect interest on the money that you overpay. And
But then, spank your ass if you're wrong.
yeah, which I think they like doing. Their little dominatrix over there.
They got a little Diddy oil going on.
They do.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys joining us today. We're going to wrap it up. Remember to hit that likes button. Subscribe if you prefer. We would prefer you did. Until next time.
All right. See you next time.
Peace.